What's up, everybody? Today we're gonna get started on some side steel stuff because we just had this bad string of nightly frozen rain, but what that means is we're not gonna be able to go work on that side of roof yet. I was gonna bring my 40-foot boom. That way we could sit out on some solid level ground and boom up and do that roof, because I can't get my scissor lift down the length of that wall. But we're gonna go ahead and start doing some side steel stuff, which means we're gonna get base trim, which is what Greg's doing right behind me. We got the Stabila laser set up, but then we'll go ahead and we'll start running our house wrap around the building, and hopefully we can get maybe these couple sides of wall steel done today. I don't know. It's pretty calm, so house wrap should be good. Not a whole lot of detail work to be done other than a couple windows and a garage door. So I think it's really doable. Just depends on, I guess, how hard we want to work today. So here you can see our base trim detail, and instead of having a standard base trim that wraps back around and dies into our grade board, because you can see this is a great indication that concrete is not always perfect. So our building dimensions are going to be as perfect as possible, which means sometimes the concrete is either bigger or smaller, and we use this detailed base trim to cover up those, issues. So we've gone around, we found the highest point of our building, which we already knew where it was, and we set this detail right here at 0, which means you can see here this wall must be about a 1/4 inch lower than the high point. So if I come over here, you can't see what the detail is. It just looks like a nice piece of trim covering the concrete, and any water that comes down the wall is gonna drip over that. What's wrong? Oh, did you turn the sound off?
Yeah. Figured in one anyone's dogs barking in the background,
So 12 1/4 by 5 3/8. Greg's doing a phenomenal job back here on this house wrap. It's running nice and flat. We love that block it house wrap. It's not that, like, I don't know how to explain, like, that type of house wrap, Tyvek or whatever, that
very papery.
Yeah, like papery, or the stuff that is woven. Like, this is like a stretchy fabric, and I really like it, and it does a great job stopping the wind from penetrating our building, which that is the main goal. This is not for a moisture barrier or a vapor barrier. So if you are curious on how we insulate these buildings and how this whole system of ours works, I'm gonna go ahead and tag a video. It'll probably be right over here. Go take a look at it. That's the insulation video, and I'm sure I'm gonna catch some flack from some people that like to do it different ways, but that's fine. That's how we do it, and we're ever evolving, changing. So if you wanna go ahead and drop a comment down below with some of your thoughts, but it's the way we do it currently. Okay, go ahead, roll it out to like the post. Okay, now the goal is to never stretch too hard, just a nice taut. Okay. on, man, you got it. You get it, or you give me the... Okay, don't get too uncomfortable because you have to hold it. Oh. Ugh. Okay, I'm gonna drop it down. Oh my gosh, that's tight. Really tough. Okay. Now I don't know about you, but there's something like super satisfying about house wrap that just runs super nice, super flat, and you just don't get that with a whole lot of different brands, but the Block-It seems to just run really well. And I know you've probably heard it a ton of times, but maybe you've seen it too. How about that logo back there? That is pretty cool. Now, if you'll notice, we are actually up here in the gable of the truss, and we're putting house wrap up here, but it's not because I think it's necessary on all buildings. However, this one has that raised cord, bottom cord truss, so this is actually part of the insulated, heated shop section of the building through the middle. So we wanted to make sure we ran the house wrap across to prevent any wind or air infiltration into the building. If it makes it through the steel, you know, we're talking it's going to be minimal on a lap. Not a big deal. We've got our vented soffits and our vented ridge creating that chimney effect and hopefully keeping the attic structure, that area, as close to the outside ambient temperature as possible. Greg, would you say that wainscoting has got to be the most like instant gratification, easy thing to do?
I would say so.
It's definitely one of them, because once you've done all the prep and made sure that your base trim was perfect with the laser and your layout was done on your 3-foot marks, I mean, it's like just taking candy from a baby. It's so easy.
Very mind-numbing.
Mind-numbing, easy. Somehow Greg always gets that job.
What are you saying?
How's that happen, bro? Greg always likes to go through and just hit the outside edges of the wainscot. Then he'll come back through and screw it all off. Dang it, I hate it when I do this. I got ahead of myself a little bit, and now this house wrap behind me, I put it up, we were just rolling it out, getting in a hurry, and I forgot I've got 2 windows that go up here on this, right underneath the overhang. They're like 2 smaller windows up top, and they just are here to let light in the building, and then it kind of will spread out inside. So versus a window that's down close to the ground, they're great. But when you got a window up high, you get all that floodlight going in. So I think it's a really good idea to add to your building, especially your taller walls, or maybe if you don't have room because you want stuff up against the wall. Okay, well, that wasn't as bad as I thought. I was worried I was gonna have more tearing. So now I can go ahead and frame the header and sill, or the two headers really is what I call it on a post frame, because you got really just it supporting the window to span between the posts. Hello, it's Kyle. Oh my gosh. Telemarketers. You know, something I was never able to do with a GRK before was to actually put it in the bit and not have to two-hand the impact and the screw. One hand is all you need with the new GRKs. It makes all the difference in the world when you're doing things out on the job site. It was froze solid here in the morning. Now, pretty glad I got my muck boots on. Hey Greg, you know what this sounds like?
Mac and cheese. Like you're stirring mac and cheese.
Like I'm stirring mac and cheese?
Mm-hmm. That's what it sounds like.
Huh. Whenever we get our steel from our supplier, which is Metal Sales Manufacturing, they're out of Rock Island. That's our branch that we use, and they're all across the country. So if you are looking for a good steel provider, I've had really good luck with them. But the way they ship it out for strength is that they put their shortest sheets on the bottom and the longest sheets on the top. That way when they pick it up from the middle, or if they're using a set of straps, the bottom weight, those stronger shorter pieces will support the weight of the much larger pieces. But what that means is when we get to site, when we're going to put together basically our stacks of steel for each set of wall, we got to come in and we got to unstack all of this steel down to the shortest sheet, and then we'll restack it back up into the piles that we want it. And that is so when we get it over to the building, it's stacked from shortest to tallest and then back down to the shortest, so we can just punch all the sheets exactly where we want them and then start installing them in order. Now you've probably seen us do this before, but Zach's back here and he's working on punching the steel because me and him are gonna get ready to start running this back wall here. So we've got all of our steel stacked up. We got all of our measurements to the centers of all of our wall girts, and now we transferred those measurements to our pile of steel using a punch. This guy right here is what we use typically. This is a, I don't know if this is gonna focus or not, but this is a AWL. You can see that there, AWL. I just buy these. These are like $3 at Menards. They are Master Force brand, nothing special because honestly, we go through them pretty quick. That driver inside, as you hit it, it just keeps kind of pushing in, and I know I could probably go get a metal one. Every time I've gotten a metal punch, they've broken. So these at least don't break, and I think it has something to do with the, you know, the softness of the handle. So it's kind of like a dead blow. We're not just hitting hard steel to hard steel to steel. It's like there's got to be a soft point. It's a lot better than drilling. Drilling will leave little shavings everywhere. Sometimes it'll scratch the sheet in the middle, but I feel like the punch does a pretty good job. Literally, what, 2 seconds after I got done saying that these last for a couple jobs, or Zach did. I don't know if you can see it or not. See if that focuses. Come on. Just bent. So that means this one is, that one's gonna go in the garbage. And no big deal. I buy these by like the truckload, so. Got it. Get it, brother. Get it, brother. Go, brother, go. Hey. Attaboy.
I may not be 30 years old anymore, Greg, but
Bro, I didn't have a doubt in my mind.
oh,
There you go. No. Back.
no!
Hurry up, back up. Tom needs you.
Oh my God, dude, I'm seriously an 1/8 of an inch, dude.
Bro, you're like right there. You got it.
Okay, ready?
Probably your cut.
I'm sure it is. I take responsibility. It's no big deal. I'm a responsible person, Greg.
You get to change that. Bag of screws, show screws, please. It's all downhill from here on out. Finally getting started after all this prep work.
Oh, welcome to my life, Greg. Hey, Kyle, you ever get any work done over there? Oh, sure, when I'm done prepping. Dang it, I didn't have my camera going. Luckily, I got the GoPro, but it's always nice to have your own hype man on the job site. Greg is my hype man, and whenever you're standing peak sheets, man, it's a lot of work to get them stood up without buckling. Hey, Greg, have you ever had a sheet buckle on you?
No, never, Kyle. Nope. Had to happen once.
I personally have not. I've saved a couple that almost went, but anyway, those are the hardest sheets. You got to make sure to clip your angles when they're going in. So I didn't do that. Had to wait for Zach to move the lift and clip my top of the steel so it could get up into that peak just perfectly. But anyway, onward, upward. That's all downhill from here. All right, I'm feeling pretty good. Got the back end wall done. Greg's about over the overhead door on this side wall, and then we're gonna be off to the races. We got about maybe a good half hour before, like, you know, we should be probably cleaned up, getting out of here. Happy wife, happy life, you know what I mean? But hopefully you guys enjoyed today's video. Feels great to be getting some color on the building, but more importantly, whenever we start putting steel on the building, it adds to the diaphragm strength of the structure, and I feel better. I just heard, we can't win. I just heard 6 to 10 inches of snow and frigid temperatures coming after tomorrow. So tomorrow, geez, I'm kind of breathing hard here because I've been kind of busting my tail trying to get this thing done for the day, and my cameras kept dying, my drone battery died, but thanks for sticking around through the video. Hope you guys enjoyed it. If you have, hit that subscribe button, because tomorrow's video hopefully will be even better, as I guess hopefully try to get better on every video as far as the content production goes. That's kind of the fun part of this whole thing. I know how to build buildings, I do it every day, but the whole video thing, it's kind of a constant learning process, and I'm always thinking about shots and, you know, whatever. Anyway, I'm talking too much. Thanks a lot. Appreciate the love and support. Drop some comments down below what you thought about the video. More importantly, share this with your friends, especially if you think they might enjoy it, and leave me a thumbs up. I love you guys. You've been great, and we'll keep doing this thing. So we'll see you guys on the next video.